Grand Rising, everyone. Hope you guys are okay. I hope you're doing fine, and I hope everything is going as planned. This is nikymus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empires free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality. I talk about personal and self-development. And if that's what resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. On this journey, I've learned a few things about the power of walking away. Now, chosen ones, there is one thing I can guarantee you for sure. It doesn't matter how much prayers you've asked, you've prayed. It doesn't matter how long you've fasted. It doesn't matter what you have done to change a particular situation. You may be required somewhere along the journey to walk away from certain people or certain situations. When I talk about walking away, I understand it's very difficult. My biggest challenge was walking away from a narcissistic relationship. There's a lot of things I was thinking about at the time. You know, the kids, this life we had built together. And I was facing that challenge because, every time you put a step outwards, you're like, okay, what about the kids? What about this and what about that? So sometimes you find yourself, I could find myself dragging back and forth in that relationship. I have struggled to walk away from a narcissistic relationship for about 5 or 6 years. Every attempt I tried, it wouldn't work. It was very difficult, okay? Now, I understand a lot of times you can be bonded with somebody. And it may not necessarily be a bad person, but you may have a bond with the person. And your evolution requires you to move somewhere else. It could be move to a different job. It could be moving to a different environment. Sometimes it could even involve moving to a different country. The ego can only recognize the current space where you are at. The ego doesn't yet know what is going to happen the moment you step away and move further with life. The ego doesn't know. So sometimes the ego is fighting with you, or you're fighting with your ego. And there's a lot of things running through your mind. You're like, okay, am I going to try to stay? Am I going to try to make it work? What about where I'm going? I don't know anybody there. I don't know what to expect and stuff like that. So that's why sometimes you're struggling to move away. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. As a person who has done this walking away, not only have I walked away from a narcissistic relationship, I have also walked away from a narcissistic family matrix. Those are some of the biggest challenges I've ever encountered in my life. But I can promise you something, ladies and gentlemen. Where you are is what they call your comfort zone. You know your neighborhood, you know the corner shops, you know the familiar gyms. It's familiar territory. That is your comfort zone. Any moment you decide to walk away from your comfort zone, it is going to hurt some. In other words, even if you do it, it's going to take a couple of months before you will settle into the new environment. In other words, you're moving on to find new people. You're going to have to find the new shops. It will be new neighbors. It may be a new boss in a different company. You don't know what to expect. It's going to be hurting a little bit. It's going to hurt some. But your life is awaiting for you on the other side. A chosen person feels a lot of pain when you're leaving familiar people behind. It doesn't even really matter if you have a very difficult relationship, you're in this very difficult marriage, you know that you're not going anywhere. You wake up every single morning, you have a fight. You're working in this job environment, maybe they're not even paying you what you deserve, or sometimes they're not even paying you at all, or even sometimes the way they're treating you in that job environment. So basically, what is really happening is that you are struggling. You're not happy where you are, but at the same time, you have a lot of fear about walking away from that particular family, relationship, or maybe friendship or a job situation. Anytime when you make a decision to walk away from any situation, you don't always have to know everything in detail. You are meant to walk by faith. When I was living a narcissistic family relationship, first of all, before the family, when I was living in a narcissistic relationship, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I will tell you that I did not have any savings with me. I had only 2 bags, 2 suitcases, and there was a few pennies in my wallet. I had been offered a place that I could stay. A friend of mine told me, okay, if things are not going well, you are fighting around, this thing is coming, starting to be dangerous, come to my home and, you can use my living room. I picked up my 2 bags. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not know where I was going. I moved to this friend's house, and the rest is history. Yours might be different. You may be required to move to a shelter. Even some cases that people that have known that could have sometimes gone homeless. You could have been kicked out of your own home. You may sometimes have been kicked out from your own job. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you put that that step outwards of that comfort zone, you are going to be surprised as to how everything is going to fall in its own place. Chosen ones, you're protected. But sometimes God wants to bless you. You're suffering. Yes, you're hurting. It is not easy in that particular environment that you are. God wants you to see the bigger picture. Even in the Bible, they have always talked about things like you have always got to walk with faith. You don't have always to see the details. You don't necessarily have to know where you're going. But as long as you know that you are uncomfortable, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The very moment you take that step forward and walk away from disrespect, walk away from abuse or manipulation, walk away from discomfort, places that are not nourishing your soul. Those places are sucking the soul out of you. In other words, the more you stay in that particular situation, the more you're going to start or continue moving like a ball. You're going to continue moving like a roller coaster. You're always going to go back to the beginning and start from where you have been. So it is always going to be a cycle. The only way to break a cycle is making a decision to walk away, regardless of whether you know where you're going or not, regardless of the unfamiliarity of what is going to happen. You have got to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. You have got to walk away. I can promise you, on your journey, it may not happen in a day or two. It may not be 24 hours. It may not even sometimes be a week. But one time you're going to look back and realize one day you made a decision and you walked away from a very uncomfortable situation. Walk by faith. You may be struggling in a relationship, you are being abused. Find somebody, call someone. There is always somebody that can answer the call. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not too isolated to that extent whereby there is nobody to help you. Even if it means a week, maybe a person will host you for a couple of days. It could be sometime be a month. As long as you have got an opportunity, if it's necessary, ladies and gentlemen, and even you feel your life might be in danger because you don't know what is going to happen out there, you may sometimes be required to move to a shelter. That is going to be the beginning of your blessings. God can only bless you when you have chosen you. So in other words, you are the one supposed to make the first move to walk out of that environment so that now you will be able to experience all these blessings that is waiting for you on the other side. Do not worry about the details. All you need is a decision, a plan, and you're ready to go. Sometimes you may think that you may need the resources. Yes, I even know some people who have had resources. I know a person who has been abused in their family. They've been going through abuse in this family. They've been going through abuse at their jobs. They even have the money. They have a lot of money, even enough for them to rent a home for a whole year. But they are still stuck because they are scared about unfamiliar territory or starting all over again. It is okay, ladies and gentlemen, to start all over again. All the coaches you hear online, something has happened to them, especially the narcissistic coaches, and they have had to leave. Either they have left a job or they have left a very toxic family system or they have left a very bad relationship. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you put that foot out of the door, you're going to be surprised as to how much God can do for you in your life. Everything is going to fall in its own place. It is going to feel like magic. It's been 5 years. I have been knock free for 5 years now. But that decision started 5 years ago. The most difficult decision I've ever done, I chose to get away. I put that footstep outside of the door. I've never looked back. So do not overthink about this whole thing. Don't overthink. Don't spend a lot of time thinking about these things. When you feel that you're not comfortable, it is very difficult for you to survive in that environment. Get away. It's a job, yes, toxic job environment, horrible workmates, maybe sometimes horrible bosses. There's a million jobs you can do. But for you to find out what job you can do is when you have left that environment. First of all, leave the environment and you'll be okay. So let me know, share with us your experience. What has been your journey? You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.